What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Morning Movie Chat. I hope you're all doing very well today. Thank you all so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate that every single time any of you all show up to the show and hear me flap my gums, just kind of about movies and just other different things going on out there in kind of, I guess you could say, kind of in the movie world. I mean, I try to keep it mostly to just talking about movies, and just my love of films. And if this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. If you could do me a favor, go ahead and make sure that you subscribe, and hit that like button, or give it a dislike if you don't like what I had to say. It's all good. And interact in the chats. We got a pretty good community of people here. Always just here talking about, some of our favorite things, films, right? And I apologize if you are a returning subscriber, returning viewer, or even a new one. In case this has become kind of part of your morning routine, as it has mine. I got to tell you that yesterday I didn't get the show done, and I do apologize for that. I run a small business, and I was supposed to get a load of freight in yesterday, and you can already hear the set out there. I was supposed to get a load of freight in yesterday to work for my business, and well, shipping happens, and my freight didn't come in yesterday. It's actually getting ready. It's coming in today. I probably should already be going down there, down to where I have to go and pick up my freight so I can get here to the house and work it. It's going to be a long day. But that's okay. I do apologize for missing the morning movie chat yesterday. And I want to say that I want to keep it relatively short here today, but we all know what happens every time I say that, right? It seems like every single time that I say that I want to keep it short, I end up not keeping it so short. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just something I can't help, I guess. But yeah, I didn't, just because it's been a long couple of days, I didn't really have any subjects to talk about today. So if there's anything that you guys want me to touch on, please go ahead and leave those down in the comments below, and I'll make sure that I get to those. But well, I mean, it looks like the one thing is that that's been kind of big in the news lately. People have been talking about is Rotten Tomatoes. People are always talking about Rotten Tomatoes. People have a problem with this website, yet they can't stop clicking on it and talking about it. Right? Why is that? If you don't like something, why do you keep persisting to seek out that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like Rotten Tomatoes, just don't go to Rotten Tomatoes. It's simple. Don't give them clicks. Don't go to their site. And you know what I mean? I mean, just that. Just don't go. Oh, is the volume still? Is the volume still? I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it where it's sounding good, but not too. I don't want it to clip out on anything. Because there's one thing that I definitely don't like when I get to a channel, and that's when their volume is clipping out. You know what I mean? That's to me, that's one of the more most important things when it comes to the YouTube and the videos and things like that. Is and I could always have this microphone closer to my face too. I just don't like that because then eventually you get that popping too. Like when I'm saying words that pop. Pop, 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 you get all that. But yeah, and please, if there's ever any problem with my audio, please let me know, and I will do anything I can to do that. Because, like I said, it's one of the most important things out there when it comes to the videos. I mean, I've seen some videos out there, and I see some creators that they've got great content, but then sometimes you get to their channel and like the video is all. It doesn't matter if the video is whack. The video can not have the best settings, but if the audio is not right, man, it's really off-putting. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna throw any names out there because there's several channels I've seen it on. You try to make adjustments, and that's why we count on you guys, the viewers, to let us know when something's going on. Because if you don't like something, if like there's a couple of channels I follow where they have like their intro for their video, and it comes in friggin' loud. And then all of a sudden, like the volume of their video of their voice is really low, and it's not that it's low; it's just that it's at a normal volume. But the intro is like really loud, and I'm like, okay, well, like these people, I already know that when I go to their videos, I got to turn it down at first and then turn it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's very important. People, other creators out there, do me a favor. please listen to people, because most of these people that this happens with, I tell them like, oh yeah, sorry about that, and then the same thing happens, and it's just like really your intro music. I mean, does it really matter? Like, I don't know. Should we just do away with intros? I don't know. I think the intro is important because a lot of time it has the branding in there. But yeah, so the audio is definitely something important. Please let me know anytime there's something that you don't like or you don't think sounds right. Maybe I've made a mistake. You know, you guys have been here on the streams, seen plenty of times where I'm sitting here going, and you know, it's like, oh, turn off your volume. Oh, okay, well, crap, man, I completely forgot. Because sometimes keep it turned down, and I don't know, just stuff happens out of happenstance. But anyway, yes, getting back to Rotten Tomatoes, we can see that this website has once again, and you know, it seems like it's kind of been under fire for a while. People have been picking this thing apart, saying, "Oh, their scoring system, and oh, this and that, and blah blah blah." Blah. You know, the thing is I myself, I don't go to Rotten Tomatoes. I've never been on the site. I've never clicked one time to find out one thing about one movie. Not one time, ever. Ever. And I'm not saying that it's an obsolete site or it's bogus or anything like that. I'm not even saying that at all. I just don't go there because, you know, like, if I want to see a movie, I want to go see a movie. I don't care what the audience score is on it. I don't care what the critics have to say about it. I just go see the movie. You know what I mean? Like, it either got my interest in the trailer or it didn't. Or maybe I just got the spare time and I want to go see some movies and I'll go see them. Because maybe it interests me in just the slightest bit. And sometimes I just don't go to movies. Now, I'll tell you, maybe over the past year, a little over a year, I've been sticking more to just going to the movies with my kids. Occasionally, I'll get out and see a film with a friend, or you know, just go see a movie if there's one on. But yeah, aggressively relaxing says no one tell me my video sound is off. I know. No, aggressively your sound is good, man. In all of your videos, it always sounds pretty clear. And plus, the type of videos you do, it'd be hard to tell anyway, because like the spam caller ones, you know, those ones, you want them to sound like a telephone call. So it sound like the ones I've heard sound perfectly fine. But yeah, I mean, it's something we all need to work on anyway for a creator, and you want to take yourself somewhat seriously. I mean, sure, you want to have good audio, and all those kinds of things. But again, I don't think even good video is all that important compared to sound. Like, sound seems to be the most important thing. But anyway, getting back to Rotten Tomatoes. Of course, people are questioning them once again. You know, there was the big thing with the Captain Marvel thing. There was a lot of the I don't know. Did they have problems with the Last Jedi too? Were people making issues back then too? I don't know. I don't know, you know, because that's how much Rotten Tomatoes means to me. I know that I just see all kinds of people making videos about the stuff and talking about it and how bad and evil they are for doing this and doing that, and you know, and they're still clicking on the site. Just ignore it, man. Does Rotten Tomatoes really matter? I mean, sure, it does probably help a lot of people make decisions on whether they want to go see a movie. Maybe they actually look at these critic scores and audience scores and critic reviews and even viewer reviews and decide, like, oh, you know, I don't want to go see that movie. But I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that Rotten Tomatoes is completely obsolete and is of no importance neither, because some people do look to that as a good resource for deciding if they want to go see a film or anything like that. I'm just not one of them. So, you know, I guess with just about everything else, is I kind of like to decide for myself and see how I feel about it. And anyway, and if you guys watch my show, you probably kind of know that. Like, I'm kind of, you know, I don't really get like outraged by a whole lot of things, and you know, things don't trigger me and send me into a boycott mode. You know what I mean? Like, if there's something you want to boycott, go ahead. You know, just don't spend your money on it. You don't have to announce it to anybody. You don't have to get anybody to join the fight. You know, by going on a crusade or anything. You can if you want to. You know, certainly some people do, but you know, if you make a video about it saying, you know, I don't think I'm gonna support Disney anymore. I'm not gonna buy anything Disney. Well, okay, cool. That's good on you if that's what you feel. I mean, more power to you. Go right ahead and do it. But you know how it is, how hard it would be to not give Disney money. It'd be pretty hard. It'd be pretty hard. I mean, aside from not only seeing their videos or going to see their movies, you'd have to not see their, you know, like buy any more new home videos, not watch any of their TV shows, and probably not buy brand name anything, because, you know, like, other places sponsor Disney as well, and you giving them money gives them money. It's kind of how that works. So just you know. But like I said, if you don't want to spend your money on it, you don't want to go see stuff. Fine, that's cool. Go. I mean, right on you. Go right ahead. That's certainly your right to do. For me, I just think it's silly. Like, okay, I just, if I don't want to see a movie, I won't see it. I won't do it based on, and just like completely disregard a whole company because of it. Which brings me into the next thing I want to talk about is Star Wars with, obviously, we know The Last Jedi was a pretty divisive film, and people have a bunch of different varying levels of opinions on The Last Jedi. And well, obviously, to go along with that would be the director. A lot of people are very critical of Rian Johnson and just, kind of the way he's acted and treated, some of the statements he's made as well, and all these kinds of things. And I understand that, if you let that ruin your day, hey, that's on you as well. For me, I'm one of those people who looks at those kinds of things too and says, like, oh, I don't really care. For the most part, I don't care what these people are saying in interviews, how they're reacting to whatever. I don't care. I don't care what you said in an interview. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care what your world views are or anything. I don't care. I don't care. Just don't. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not a complete turd, like somebody like Harvey Weinstein, and he's not an actor or anything, but he's definitely a movie producer, or Kevin Spacey, or anything like that. Which sucks because you know what, Kevin Spacey's a good actor. Kevin Spacey is such a great actor, and now it's like, Kevin, man, dang. You know what I mean? Anyway, but moving on, yeah, The Last Jedi was obviously very divisive. A lot of people took a lot of shots, and he took shots back at Rian Johnson, the director, and now he is getting ready to come out with a new film called Knives Out. And of course, once again, there's controversy with Rotten Tomatoes, with Rian Johnson, with his new movie, because people are upset at him, and they're upset at Rotten Tomatoes. So there's been a lot of this talk about, once again, tampering with scores, and then, people just outright saying, Rian Johnson sucks, and I'm not going to go watch this new movie. It looks like garbage, and completely, tearing it down. And, I think I've seen like 2 of the trailers, and is that all there is? I honestly don't know, but I've seen 2 of the trailers. I'm like, yeah, it looks good. I'd go see the movie, just because the dude made a Star Wars film that I don't like. I mean, I don't like it that much. I mean, it's all right. I can't watch it certainly now, but that's a different story for a different time. The thing is he, you know, I think it's an okay film. It has it's definitely it's got more bad than it has good in it for sure. I'll give that to anybody for sure. For me, it's got more bad than good. Um, but to me, I also, at the same time, as many things as I don't like about it, I'm not going to just rule out this director and say, oh, he sucks just because he made a terrible Star Wars film. You know how hard it is to satisfy Star Wars fans? It's not easy. Let's just put that out there on the table as well. And as well, if you're a Star Wars fan, don't act like you're not hard to satisfy. Whether you like The Last Jedi or don't like The Last Jedi, don't act like making a Star Wars film is easy. Okay? I'm just going to put that out there too. Let's not act like it's easy to do. And sure, I mean, even if you're a great director and say it was easy to do, it's not easy to satisfy you, the fans out there, over it. Okay? It's not. The same way, like with these the MCU movies and stuff like that, it's not easy to satisfy all these comic book fans neither. Nothing else we can really say about that. It's not. Okay, it's not easy to do. So I mean, hats off to anybody who's actually out there doing this and making it happen. You know, so I mean, if they're stepping up to the director's chair or anything like that to make one of these franchise films where people are so invested in, man, hats off to you, dude. Like that's hard to do because it comes with a certain expectation, and this certain expectation is what people what upsets people and things like that when they see something that they don't like, or when all of just the different things that have happened in the movies. We don't really need to get into all that that people don't like. People are invested in these characters. Not only not only monetarily, people spent tons of money on these franchises and things that they love, but also emotionally because you grow attached to them. Anybody who don't understand any of the outrage out there, whether you like or hate these movies and everything, you got to realize that one thing is people are not only monetarily invested but are emotionally invested in these characters. So that's one of the things that, like, I don't like seeing all the discourse out there with the divide in these fan communities, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel. We can see that's happening more now with Marvel, DC, and all that kinds of stuff. The thing is I get tired of it for that reason, is because nobody wants to stop and think about that. Nobody wants to stop and think about, well, this is the reason why people are so upset, is because people are emotionally invested in these things, and people also on the other side don't want to look at, like, well, these people are invested in this franchise and they love this and they're willing to defend it. Nobody wants to see that side of the thing, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I know that, I'll admit that, but it always comes with a but. It always comes with a but, because you just want to keep the argument going, and it's not that important. You know what I mean? And I've talked about this before as well. If you don't like it, just step off. Just don't. Just like a lot of people are doing. Don't go see it. Don't support it. It's that simple. You don't have to make 100 videos about how much you dislike it or anything. Hey, you've already said your piece. But that's just me. That's just me. You're certainly free to do that. But to me, if it's out of content creators, and we see, we all see some of those content creators. If that's all you're going to talk about, like, that's probably why I don't follow your channel, because that's all you talk about is that. And then I guess that's kind of the same thing with any channel. If all you talk about is the one thing, and if it's just like one specific thing, that gets boring. You know what I mean? If there was, like, say there's a okay, say I talk a lot about comic books here. Say the only thing that I talked about on my channel was the Batman comic. Even if I'm like the Batman expert, you know what I mean? If that's all I talked about, and whether, like, say an issue comes out that somebody did, and then I'm upset about it. Like, who's the guy out there? It's not Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor's the guy doing Deceased. King Taylor. I don't know. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? Yeah, the guy writing the Batman stuff. Is that the one that everybody's mad at? Is that the one that everybody's mad at? Tom King? I don't know. Like, say, I could even have the right. Like I said, I don't read a whole lot of DC titles, but the thing is, like, if I had, he comes out with, like, this string of 5 comics, or maybe just the whole series that he started writing, and it's just like, okay, like, this sucks. If I just make videos about that the whole time, it gets pretty old. It gets pretty old. Even if it was talking about each individual the issue that came out, it's like, okay, because this conversation is always going to circle around that. Like, we always want more. We always want more. So I certainly get it. But yeah, right, and yeah, see, I'm kind of going off here. But this all has to do with the same thing with this Rian Johnson movie getting ready to come out, Knives Out. I think it looks okay. I may or may not go see it, depending on what's going on in my life at the time. If I have the time to go see it, the business I do, it gets pretty busy at this time of year. Like, coming here in, like, about the next 30 days, I'm going to be running. I mean, that's all I'll do. I'll be making gift baskets, all kinds of stuff. And if you don't know what I do, you can follow a link down in the description there, where you can go and follow the Peanut Peddler. That's my business. That's what I do. I think I've got a YouTube channel on there. I haven't really done a whole lot of videos on there, but the Peanut Peddler, yeah. So I go to a lot of local businesses here, and I see them, and sell snacks, and it's all good. But so yeah, it's getting ready to be busy seasons for me in the first place. So I may not even get to go out and see some of the films out there that I'm not as excited to see. You know what I mean? Like a Joker, gonna go see it. Star Wars, gonna go see it. Jumanji, gonna go see it. All these movies I'm gonna go see, and there's just others coming out that I don't know if I'm gonna make it to. We got what else is coming out? Terminator, that new Terminator, Dark Fate, something. I don't know if I'm going to go see it. I would go see it, but then I'd also still have to get caught up on some Terminator movies that I haven't seen as well. And I probably don't even need to do that. It's probably irrelevant to the whole thing altogether in the first place. But so I mean, there's that. But again, just because the guy made a bad Star Wars movie doesn't mean that all of his movies suck. I mean, it might too. But I know I seen that movie Looper. I thought it was okay. movies like that are tricky to make too, where there's the time travel and you're going back and forth, like we got Gemini Man getting ready to come out, which looks like it might be a good movie, but again, one I probably won't go see in the theater because it's not one that has me like super excited to see it. You know what I mean? Like I've been wanting to go see Hobbs and Shaw, and I haven't been on the Fast and Furious franchise for a while, but that those trailers started. I'm like, man, this looks so over the top and cheesy. Like I love it. I want to go see this movie. And let's see. And welcome to the live stream. Russell Wells, Benjamin, aggressively relaxing, Thomas Connolly, glitter and duct tape. Welcome all. Aggressively. Oh, okay. I've read that one. Thomas Connolly says positive outlook, Second Street, class. Well, I try, man. Like the thing is, like, even if I don't like something, I don't want to be negative about it. I mean, I do that. I do that on the live streams, like on the Trailer Park Live. I do that there. That's where I kind of get it out, and you guys see a little bit more of me. Trinity. That's where you see a little bit more of me, where it goes kind of R-rated, and sometimes maybe I start yelling a little bit or going off on rants and stuff like that. I'm a little more me on that show, where most of the other times, like if I'm talking about a comic book, even one I don't like, in a video, just because I don't like it doesn't mean that somebody else won't. So I need to make my video reflect all of those kinds of things. I need to talk about what actually happens in this comic book or what it's about, whether the art is actually decent in it or not, because certainly there's comics out there that could have decent art, have good art in it, but the story sucks. And the same thing, you could have a comic book where the story's good but the art sucks. It's just something, they're completely separate, and just because I don't like a story doesn't mean that I can't like the art in it. So trying to get that out there, even when I don't like something, in my videos I still want to give their a pretty positive spin on it, because my ultimate thing, whether I'm talking about movies or even music or even comic books here on the channel, the thing is they're subjective. You may like them, you may not like them, and that's really ultimately up to you. But the other thing that I want to get to people is, if you don't read comic books, I want to get you into comic books. I want to get you out there, going, even if you're buying one book a month, 2 books a month, whatever, to go check out comic books, because it's something that I love. Some of them have really great stories, some of them have really great art. Sometimes it's great when we get a combination of both. And it's the same thing when it comes to movies. So, sometimes we get movies that are like, you get some of those indie movies out there that are just like good movies with great stories. They don't have all the best cinematics in the world and all of that stuff. They're just telling you just a really good story, like Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, look at the budget they probably had making that movie, and look at it. I mean, it probably didn't even make a whole lot of money neither. I don't know. I'd have to go back and check that. I'm not a numbers guy, but the thing is like, it's a classic. It's a cult classic. People look at this movie and kind of hold it in some sort of high regard, because it was actually a really great movie. And if you think about the budget they had on that movie, everything they did, that's a good thing. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm trying to. I want to get people into reading comic books. I want to get people into certain bands. I want to get people in or out to watch certain movies. So I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. Glitter and Duct Tape says, true. Welcome to the stream. Glitter and Duct Tape aggressively says, people are having a hard time dealing with the very strong emotions The Last Jedi gave them, and I understand. Luke is a very unique, beloved character who people have looked forward to seeing return for decades. And that's absolutely true. And that's I couldn't agree more, and that's why I say, in these properties, these movies are huge, dude. I've been watching Star Wars since I was a baby. The first one came out a year before I was born. Was it 77? I was born in 78. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up with these movies. This is, I love these movies. And then I realized after The Last Jedi came out, and even after The Force Awakens come out, a lot of people didn't like that movie neither, weren't completely happy with it, but especially after The Last Jedi came out, and I see all this stuff going on, like people out there defending this movie, people out there just attacking this movie, people out there attacking each other because of this movie. And I say attack in the, how would you say, the exaggeration of the word, because, and I say that because that's what people say online, like, oh, they're attacking me for my opinions. Okay, like, whoa, bro, like, we're online. These are words, and I'm sure words hurt, but like attacking, like somebody's like taking like they're attacking you, like, you know, I mean, maybe they're verbally assaulting you, sure, you know, but attack. Oh no, I feel attacked. This is stuff for the Trailer Park Live. This is, see, that's why. This is stuff for the Trailer Park. Like, to me, I find that shit like, oh, they're attacking me online and blah blah blah. You know, it's like, whoa, calm down. Calm down. Nobody's attacking you. You know what I mean? That people just take that too personal. But yeah, but that's part of the reason why is because that's why some people, you know, I realized at that time when people were doing this that, man, maybe I don't like Star Wars that much. Okay, like I don't like Star Wars that much. Certainly not going to get in a war of words over it, and start calling people turds because they don't like this movie or they do like this movie. To me, it's absolutely ridiculous. But you know, maybe that's just me. But the thing is I get it though, and it sounds like you obviously do too, aggressively. And I think if you're here on my channel, you probably do realize that um, it's okay for people to have, you know, those expectations that they think need to be lived up to. The thing is, a lot of these movies, like I said, I hats off to anybody making one of these movies because that's a brave endeavor because you got to satisfy people that have these expectations, and when they're not met, I mean, we got to understand that's why people get upset because people have these expectations because they are emotionally invested in these characters and they had a certain expectation of something they wanted to see fulfilled, even if it wasn't something very specific. They don't want to see a character's arc change. They don't want to see maybe the character progress in a way they don't like. You know, so those kinds of things are important, and I get that. But fighting with people over it online and just being turds about it, to me, that I don't get. That I don't get. But that's just me. But again, I understand it. I understand it because people are invested in these characters like that. And I wish a lot more people, when they're getting these conversations, would really realize that. Just really realize that. The one thing that I say all these people have in common is they love Star Wars, but they all seem to forget it at times. You know what I mean? Like, because they're, you know, treating each other like jerks and just trying to respond to each other, as opposed to realizing, like, wait, man, like, look, we both love Star Wars, but you know, why don't we like this movie? And then hear each other's arguments out, and then talk it out. You know, like civil adults. You know what I mean? Like, that's all you have to do. You don't have to resort to, and just because the other person, you know, takes the turn and starts being a jerk about it, doesn't mean that you have to. You don't have to respond. You know what I mean? But if you do, I mean, nobody's gonna blame you. I'm not gonna think you're a bad person for that. But again, that's just what it brings out in people, and that's the interesting thing. You know, like, just I guess it's probably a big thing with to do with social media more than anything is just seeing how people are interacting in some of these sort of ways like that. Ways that, I mean, do you act like that with your friends? You know, your friends who have the differing opinions when you guys are together hanging out. Do you act the same? You know what I mean? And I think that's the something that a lot of people lose sight of, and not everybody. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. Just from what I've seen on just the discourse online, and there's more I could talk about on that tomorrow when it comes to that kinds of stuff, because it's been a pretty busy and interesting week. It sure has. Glitter and Duct Tape says, I liked Looper. I thought Looper was pretty good. I only seen it the one time, but I thought it was a pretty decent movie. And it's tricky when you're making those kind of movies, like the time jumping and all that stuff. You know, there's all these loopholes and these kind of rules that you got to stick to that always make everything tricky. And you know, when people start picking things apart, like, oh, you know, because of this, you know, these plot holes and this and that. Well, sometimes I'll tell you, plot holes. You ever think that sometimes maybe some of those plot holes are left there to make you think, you know, to make you come up with theories and make you, you know, drive you nuts, you know, like to think about what's going on in the movie and make you like the movie more. Or maybe they have some of those for, you know, maybe they have planned sequels that they're going to do and flesh those things out more. Or maybe they just want to leave threads open to do a future movie later. So that's why I kind of, you know, yeah, I had that kind of argument when it comes to like plot holes and things. And you know, as we can see, that's not always the case. Sometimes, you know, there are just legitimate, you know, plot holes out there, whether they were intentional or not. Russell Wells Benjamin says Hobbs and Shaw was a fun ride. Best Fast and Furious movie since the first two. Wow. That's funny because I would have to absolutely agree with that. I haven't seen the movie, but to me, like the first two were pretty good. I liked the first, you know, and they're not like great films. They're a little on the cheesy side, but again, I think they kind of owned that in a way too. But I got to tell you, you know, a lot of people don't like Tokyo Drift, but I thought Tokyo Drift was okay. To me, it seemed like that's when they like when they seem to start taking the franchise seriously, and trying to make like an actual like drama serious kind of film. Because like the first one, it had that kind of cheesiness, that it had that like that Point Break cheesiness to it that you still kind of liked. It was still, it was still a good entertaining film. And the second one just was like that was Cheese Whiz, and sometimes you gotta like Cheese Whiz, right? That's what that was to me. And Tokyo Drift, while it wasn't a great movie, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it for what it was. So yeah, I'll take your word for that, because the one of the Fast and Furious films, the last one I watched, I think it was part 6 maybe. I don't know. The one where they're on the plane and they start dropping the cargo off the plane and all that stuff. Yeah, that one. I fell asleep. I fell asleep watching that movie a couple of times. Just couldn't get through it. Just didn't. It lost my interest altogether. I'm Misguided. How's it going? How you doing this morning? Maverick MX, welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys, please, if you all could do me a favor, make sure that you hit that like button, because you don't want to have to hear me complain about YouTube and the algorithm and all that stuff and how it's going to help me out. How it's going to help me out. You know what I mean? It helps me out if you hit that like button. You know what I mean? I think we all hate talking about the like button. I certainly don't, and that's why I laugh when I talk about it, because I see people out there talking, even here on YouTube, about, oh, YouTube is against me. They're not pushing my videos and all this kinds of stuff, and they're making, like, all these videos, like, bashing YouTube and stuff. It's like, I get it. Is all that necessary, though? Like, I don't care. I don't care when I go to these videos anyway. I mean, I go through my subscription feed and I click the video. If it's a creator I like, I click their video and I watch it, and I usually give it a like. Even sometimes there's creators out there, they make videos that I've watched their video and I disagree with what they say. I don't give them a dislike for that. Still like the video. If it's presented right and it's a good video, I still give it a like. You know what I mean? And I might leave it a comment. I don't always get to leave a lot of comments, because a lot of times I'm driving for my work and everything, so I forget to leave comments. And sometimes even likes. But most of the time, I'm just that they've got videos going while I'm sitting there driving around. Just got it, on my phone, and just listening to it as I drive around. So yeah. So don't make me complain about likes again. Just smash that like button, or give it a dislike. It's all good. I don't really care. But yeah, so let's see. I Am Misguided says, The Last Jedi did what I thought was not possible. It even ruined my enjoyment of the original trilogy. And that's fine. That's I understand what you mean. I mean, I get it. Because for a lot of people who are invested in the characters and all that stuff like that, I mean, that's how they feel. That it basically takes all the stuff that happened previously and just throws it out the window. And again, I say that's why my hat's off to anybody who's willing to be brave enough and step in and direct and make one of these films, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Terminator, whether it's a Marvel movie. Hey, hats off to you, man, because you got some expectations and fans too that you've got to satisfy. And if you don't make a good movie, you're gonna know it. People are gonna let it be known that it's not a good movie, that they don't like it. Whether it's a good movie to somebody else or not, you know what I mean. Hey, man, my hat's off to you. You got respect. Yeah, I said respect, not respect. Respect. You guys ever watch Ali G? Oh man, that reminds me. Sacha Baron Cohen is apparently in this new film. I think it's on Netflix. Kind of about, like, I don't know. It's like a drama. It's a pretty good drama piece, and I've been hearing some pretty good things about it. And I actually seen just like the ad. I didn't see a trailer for it, but I was like, that's interesting, because like me, I like Sacha Baron Cohen. I do. I like his work and what he does. So I need to go. I need to go give that movie a watch. Maverick MX, welcome to the live stream. Maverick says, "How can you feel attacked, just by some words on a screen, right?" And that's what I say. Like, I see people saying that, and even friends and stuff, people I follow, like, oh, you come in here attacking me and stuff. Like, come on, man, we're attacking you. But again, this is something I've said for a while too, and I'm definitely not that guy. Is people have fragile egos. They do. Whether they want to admit it or not, they do. People have fragile egos, and a lot of people just don't know how to control their emotions and react emotionally as well. Um, and there's some people out there who have these huge egos and absolutely no self-esteem as well. So, and I've made a video about one of those guys before. I've talked about him plenty, more than enough here on the channel. More than enough, because it's probably been maybe 5 or 6 times I've mentioned this dude's name, and that's really, it's again, just because the guy's a turd, it's not one of those things I'm just gonna go start beating up the whole subject over. Russell Wells Benjamin says, Mav, you change up your profile, or you the new Maverick? Oh, I think it's a different Maverick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not the Maverick Pilgrim. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure Maverick Pilgrim hasn't changed. Kobe reviews movies. Hello, how you doing today? Hope you're doing well. It's Thursday, man. We're almost at the end of the week. Almost at the end of the week. Maverick MX says, I don't like The Last Jedi, but that doesn't mean I hate everything Star Wars. The movie was just not for me. If somebody likes it, good on them. They enjoyed the film, unlike me. Yeah, and I feel the same way. Like I said, for me, I thought the movie, it was okay. It's just I'm not like a big fan of it. I certainly won't defend it, but it was okay. There's things in the movie that are really well done, beautifully shot movie. There's a lot of great, just beautiful shots in that movie of, just things, cinematics and different things like that. It's just, some of the things in the story, some of the things that happen in there, and just some of that stuff, it just doesn't do it for me. That's really about it. I certainly won't defend it, but I'm not going to be mad at somebody if they don't like it. I'm not going to be mad at somebody if they do. It's, and again, I don't care what it was. Even if it was a movie I hated, I wouldn't, which I don't know that there's anything out there I really hate as far as movies are concerned. It's just ones I dislike. Russell Wells says, "Now you ain't the Pilgrim." No, different Pilgrim. Definitely different. My Trump, my joy. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Trump, my joy. Trump, my joy says, "I voted for Trump." Awesome, good on you. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. I I talked about that actually on, was it this past Friday on the Trailer Park Live? I kind of talked about that stuff. I don't really talk politics here on the show, but yeah, hey, you felt it was your civic duty to get out there and vote, and you voted on the candidate that you felt was best to be in that role, that position, to be in the White House. Hopefully, you didn't vote for him just because it's not the other guy. Because that's ridiculous too, isn't it? Just voting for somebody because it's not that person. You know what I mean? And to me, that's just something silly. I see a lot of a lot of things going on out there, like, well, it's not so and so. Is that really why you should be voting for somebody, just because it's not the other guy? I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know if that's a viable solution for voting practices. Hey, man, more power to you. But good on you. Went out and voted. Flexed your rights to vote and went out there and did it. Good on you. Aggressively relaxing. I would not have made Luke a coward or made Han a deadbeat dad, but there is so much good stuff that has come out of new Star Wars. I love these new characters, and Rebels was amazing. I haven't seen the Star Wars Rebels series a whole lot. I've seen some of them. I haven't watched a whole lot of them, but I thought they were pretty good. To me, they are more. They're not like your regular cartoon. You know what I mean? Because apparently they are canon, and in that sense they're taken pretty seriously. Like when they're you can see in the production and all that kinds of stuff, it's taken and treated just like a lot of the other properties, like the films and stuff are. That's the one thing I found interesting about it, because there's a couple of them, I'm sitting there kind of watching, not like it was boring, but I'm kind of like, this is kind of deep and involved. I mean, it's a cartoon, but then that's when it kind of hit me too. Is like, well, they're taking this seriously, like it's all canon and everything, because apparently it is. So I thought that was something that was really cool about that series in that way. I am this guy says, and Maverick MX is laughing. Yeah. So Russell Wills Benjamin says, Cosmic Wonder. Yeah. We all know who it is. We all know who it is. There's a video, you can go back and watch it. It was done on a Saturday. It was a live stream. Yeah. Again, it's whatever. I don't really even watch any of those kind of channels anymore. You know what? I was thinking the other day. I was sitting there. Since I don't watch their channels, because there's him, and I don't, again, I don't like have uh like a beef with that guy. Just any chance I get, if somebody's gonna bring him up, I'll just say f that guy. But I don't really watch any of these other channels anymore, like Charlie over at Emergency Awesome. What's the other guy? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Everything Always. Yeah, yeah, that guy. Everything. Yeah. I haven't watched his videos. I just don't follow a lot of those channels anymore, or I just stopped watching their videos because they're all talking about the same thing. You know what I mean? I've got like two that I follow that do those same kind of clickbaity news things, and that's really all I need. And then there's one of my favorite ones who does like theory videos and stuff. They're not ever like plot leaks, but he talks a lot about theories, things that he thinks is going to happen, like a lot of these kind of clickbaity things do, but he's doing his own like theories and stuff, and that's kind of culty. If you guys haven't ever watched kind of culty, you guys need to go check out his channel. He does really great videos, like, because to me, like, I kind of laugh at like all these like video clip uh, slideshow kind of channels. That's what most of these guys do. To me, I just like come on, I get it. If they're just doing a quick commentary, they got like a quick three minute video, 5 minute video. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, I like seeing faces. I like seeing faces. So that's the one thing I like. But Tay over at Kinda Culty, he makes some great videos because he does these ones like he gets some good video clips on there. He's got other images that he uses. He puts some really well produced videos together, and he's presenting his own theories and just talking about things that he's seen in past movies as it relates to things that thinks that's gonna happen in future movies, and just based off of what we know. And sometimes like he'll addresses some of the plot leaks, says, okay, there's this these rumors going around about this, and he'll go into why he's talking about it and what he thinks relating to that certain thing. But he talks a lot about that. He's not really out there necessarily doing like the clickbaity kind of videos like that. So kind of culty is one of my absolute favorites. He's one of the first ones I started watching after War Stew and the Den of Nerds. And again, Den of Nerds isn't one of those ones that's like the clickbaity sites neither. They talk a lot about that information. Like Josh over there is really great because he takes all that information in from all the different sources out there, all the different plot leaks and rumors and stuff like that. He takes it, digests it, and gives it back out, and I would say kind of sets the record straight or gives his view on exactly what that is. And he's really good at what he does over there. More, I would say. He's more good at like actually reporting stuff as opposed to just covering these particular leaks and things in that same way that a lot of the other channels do. He's not clickbaity about it. It's like I said, just like it says every single day when it comes down to it. To the nerdy, what is it, the nerdy news rundown is, it's like the news, but for nerds. You know what I mean? That's their tagline. That's one of the things I definitely like about what Josh does over there. And then, like I said, Tay over at Kinda Culty makes some excellent videos. Excellent videos. Like, it's always a good day when a Kinda Culty video drops because I know that I'm going to be in. And those are one of the ones, like, when I see the video, I've got to watch the video because he does good, interesting, like I said, he uses good graphics and things like that, where some of them, they just use slideshows of, the stars, pictures, the clips of the movie and just different things like that, pictures by Bosch Logic and stuff like that. They just put in slideshows, and I just, like those videos to me, I don't have to watch those. I can just listen to the voice. Almost like, you should just do a podcast. And I guess that's what it is. It's more like a soundbite of a podcast. One of the things, and maybe I need to reach out to him and tell him that I need to, my boy War Stew, you guys know I like War Stew here. A lot of people don't like him, but The one thing that I think that he needs to do on his channel, maybe I need to reach out to him and let him know that, is maybe he should just do like a podcast style, just do like one a day. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like 30 minutes where he discusses the things that he has to do for the day, and if something else comes out in the meantime, maybe talk about it on the like do a little video on it, or do it later that next day. I don't know, just feedback, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're a little bit drawn out. You know what I mean? And a lot of the channels that do that kind of stuff. You know, they draw it out for, you know, maybe for watch time or whatnot. Sometimes I think there are videos that are okay being 2 minutes, 3 minutes long, 5 minutes long. Where me, I like longer videos, but the videos got to have good substance, and that's what I like about Kinda Culty's channel. So anyway, moving on from that, I Am Misguided says the last time I voted for someone instead of against someone was Ross Perot. Okay, right. Ross Perot. And that's just sad. I remember, was it Dana Carvey? He used to do an excellent Ross Perot. Funny stuff. Wookiee Lives Matter, welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. And again, everybody, if you could do me all a favor, make sure you know, the like button thing, don't make me cry about it. Oh, it was just funny. Maverick MX says, speaking of Star Wars, The Mandalorian looks really good. I thought that too. I thought The Mandalorian looks really good. Definitely looks like it's good. I Am Misguided says, just don't screw over Mara Jade. And again, I don't really know Mara Jade. I'm not invested in like the EU or anything like that. I don't know a lot of those kinds of things. Like I've just watched the movies, haven't really read any of the books or anything like that. You want an EU guy? I would say some of the best guys out there I know for like EU content that I know about, creators that I know about. For one, my favorite is Lord Callus. You should definitely go check out my brother Lord Callus. He does great videos on the EU, and he knows his stuff. And this dude has a genuine love of Star Wars, and you can see that in his videos. Even the things that, with some of the things that he don't like, you can see he's kind of like me. He puts a positive spin on it. He's not making negative videos. He does great breakdowns and great criticisms of these things. So he's definitely one of my favorites for getting out there. And if you want Star Wars EU stuff, go check out his channel. Another one is Ryan Kennel at RK's Outpost. Does some great videos. You can tell he knows his Star Wars EU, and he really loves his Star Wars as well. You can see that in the videos. But yeah, I mean, certainly I Am Misguided. When it comes to doing any of these characters, don't. I mean, they want to put their best foot forward and do these characters justice, because like I've been talking through most of this live stream. I'm not sure how soon you got here, but it's my hats off to anybody making any of these franchise films, because you've got a lot of people out there who have a lot of expectations and high expectations of things that they expect when it comes to these movies, and to live up to that, man. Like you've. I guess it's kind of like in real estate, You've got to have brass balls to sell real estate. Not sure if you've ever seen Glenn Ross. Great movie, but there's this great speech done by Alec Baldwin in that movie. Which I would happily go through and completely redo that, do a mock-up of that scene if you'd like. But anyway, yeah, so I understand that, people get onto these franchise movies. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to satisfy people when it comes to that, because people are invested in these things and they have high expectations of them. Aggressively Relaxed and says, Rebels stars Freddie Prinze Jr., and he is the greatest Jedi to ever live. Which one is he? Which is he? Kanan Jarrus? Is that who he is? I'm not for sure. Like I said, I've only watched a few episodes of that show, but I thought it was a really well done show, because it's really involved. It's not like your regular average cartoon. He says you get to see Maul versus Kenobi 2 with brilliant fight choreography, and what they do with Rex makes the old trilogy better. Check it out. I'll have to. I've definitely heard, like I said, I've seen some of the things. I'm like, man, it's like something you got to invest in, just like watching a movie, because it's taken very seriously. Mary Mayhem, welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you as well. Let's see. Mary says, Wookie, you're so wonderful. I'm so happy to always see you everywhere. I know, Wookie is awesome, I see Wookie everywhere too. Wookie is definitely here on my live streams most mornings. Yeah, Wookie is awesome. Definitely very supporting. Just like, there's several people out there, we see in a lot of the streams, and certainly ones that I see here in my live streams as well. And again, you guys, the people who come here and watch our videos, you guys are the absolute best. You guys are the ones that, those of us who are trying to build a YouTube channel and kind of somewhat take this seriously. You guys are kind of the lifeblood of that, coming and supporting and watching our videos. And I certainly know, I've been fortunate enough to be to come across a lot of great creators out there on the YouTubes. And yeah, and it's great, even meeting people who have come to our channels and support us and watch the videos, especially in the live streams. It always means a lot seeing all of you guys here. Anybody out there who does a YouTube channel and has the viewers coming in and supporting us, everybody here understands that. We even appreciate those people who come in and disagree with us. Sometimes, to me, I appreciate people who disagree even more. I don't have enough of those people here on my channel. I happily invite trolls or anything like that. Please, please come find me, because I like the feedback. It helps me grow as a creator. Not only just how to you get to see me, pretty much keep my cool, because I don't let people online trigger me, but also because I need the feedback. I don't care whether it's from a troll or anything. I can still extract good, useful information out of somebody being a jerk or being a troll or anything like that, or having an oppositional view to mine. So, I mean, again, it's great for any of the crowds out there, anybody who's out there supporting us. We do. I can guarantee you, whether they ever disagree with you in their streams or in the chats or anything, any creator appreciates you being there supporting their live streams. Wookie Lives Matter says Second Street is the best thing first thing in the morning. Thank you, man. That means a lot. I greatly appreciate that. And like I said, in case you guys don't know, I started this stream because one of these days I hope to grow it to something like, because I know a lot of people out there, people that I associate with, don't like John Campea and don't like the John Campea show. Me, I love the show. I watch it pretty much every single day, because I love movies, I love films, I love talking about films, I love hearing other people's views on films. And over on the John Campea show, that's what they talk about. And he's got a great co-host in Robert Meyer Burnett. And they even have like a hostess, I guess you would say, and it's been kind of a revolving door, but they've had some great people on there helping out with the show as well. I like the show. Anybody don't like it, hey, I understand. I'm not gonna be mad at anybody for not liking it, but that's why I started this show, was because I know some people out there don't like that show and want to talk about movies and just hear somebody else geek out about movies as well. So that's kind of why I started this show. And thank you, Wookie. That means a lot. Thank you. Mary Mayhem says, yeah, he does. And thank you so much for all the compliments. I'm one of those people out there who, like, I say thank you, and I'm genuine in that. The only thing is, like, I've always been one of those kind of people, like, I think LB's kind of the same way over at the Lonely Banters. Like, I maybe just don't know how to take a compliment the best way. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think it's just because, for the most part, I'm just so modest. Like, I don't. Like, I have no ego about things. You know what I mean? Like, even though we've all got egos, whether it's big or small. Like, I'm just an average dude, man. For the most part, I look at what I do, anything I do, like, anybody could do this. Anybody could do, whether they have the determination, the dedication, things like that. Anybody can do what I do, and that's kind of how I feel just about everybody out there in the world. Is a lot of things, anybody could do what we all do. But when it comes to some things, I will say certainly not. Like, you want to get, like, engineering and stuff like that, like that. Not anybody can do that, and that's why, and that's why, and this has the equality thing. People saying we're all equal. That's why I always say it's BS. Because there is no such thing as equal. Because if there was that, we could all be as big and shredded as The Rock and be as smart as Elon Musk, or anybody else out there who's a genius inventor. So the equality thing is, I think, is just completely silly, and that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. But I guess that in itself kind of makes us all equal, because we all have different strengths. So in a way, that is kind of its own equality by people not being balanced out, and we can certainly see there's people out there that they're not equal, man. There's some people out there just like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're missing it, man. You're missing it. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. I'm Misguided says Lord Callus and RK are great. Yeah, they are. Great creators, man. Fortunate to have touched bases with these guys, and I definitely need to get both of those dudes on my show sometime, just to because you guys know I don't talk a lot about Star Wars here. Just get them on here to have chats. and there's some other creators I want to bring here on the channel and have some of these chats with, because for one, I like just like talking about things that are going out there in our world. Like not even necessarily social issues or anything like that, but we see there's a lot of discourse out there over a lot of different things, especially here lately. And I want to just bring different creators on to talk about some of those different kinds of things, because a lot of it, we see a lot of that go on different channels. But I think I want to do it in a somewhat different way. So, I want to get some of these different people on here and talk about things. Like I said, I'm not the hugest, don't talk a lot about Star Wars, but I would definitely like to get those guys out here on the channel one of these days and do that. It just, right now, everything's so busy, and I've got kids, I run my own business and all that stuff. So sometimes it gets hard for a lot of us to get together at certain times to do things. Like one of the people I've reached out to, and he said he would happily come on the show, is Young Ripa. I want to get him on here. Eric July. If you guys don't follow him, you should go check out his channel. I want to get him on here, and we're going to talk some comic books. We're going to talk some MCU and stuff. One of these days. He's a busy dude, as I am, as I'm sure we all are. So. Yeah. Mary says, yeah, they are great. Fantastic guys. Yeah, and both of those guys are really great. And Ryan, welcome to the live stream. Ryan's here. He says, my ears are burning. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. Yeah, Mary says, speak of the devil. Mary Mayhem says, second has such a great attitude about everything. I'm ringing the bell, Sugar. You have a great presence. Thank you. I try. And that's something that, like, I sometimes I get on I've been on people's live streams and everything, and I I'm always honest about stuff, you know what I mean? And some people take it the wrong way, some people do. And like me, when I see somebody live streaming, I want to see them, there's different ways to do it. Is I want them to see, just hit the ground running, because the way I do it, the way I see like my show, like I like to do that is I look at it like as if it was a TV show. And would you sit around for a half-hour TV show or even an hour TV show with somebody beating around the bush, not really doing anything, like for the first 10 minutes of a show, we've seen some of these people, and there's a lot of people that do it. There's a lot of people that do it, like it's a Facebook Live thing. Like, okay, made this live stream, we're going to go ahead and wait around for 10 minutes while everybody gets here, and we're getting ready to go ahead and get into the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and say hi to everybody as we're going along. Like, just hit the ground running. At least get a good 5-10 minutes out, and then get in, check your chats, check who's here, welcome everybody once again, and just stuff like that. And that's what I try to do. But certainly that doesn't mean you have to be upbeat and full of energy and everything all the time like I am. Sometimes like I feel like I'm caffeined out or something. Some people probably think that sometimes, but I try my best to I do my best to do whatever it is I do. Sometimes like I'm a hack, man. You know what I mean? Like I just make trashy videos the best way I can. That's all I know how to do. Trashy videos the best way I can. Believe me, as much as I take this all seriously, I don't take it so seriously neither. And that's why I'm waiting for the trolls to show up, man. Where's the trolls at? What do you got to do to get some trolls? Man. Ryan says, Second Street is a badass with a great attitude. I do my best, man. I do my best. Like I said, when it comes to all these things, there's so much divide in the community. If somebody wants to see somebody talking about, just all that other stuff that I don't cover here, like with some of the, in those different ways, their distaste and all that stuff, that's what the other creators are out there for. We're all in we all have our space, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to invade anybody's space, and like I was talking about on the Trailer Park Live on Fridays, I'm not really in anybody's space. There's just nobody else out there that does content like I do. There's other people out there that talk about comic books. There's other people out there that do live streams, but if you think about it, we're all different. We're all different. So that's why I always say, you see sometimes some of these people just like, I don't know, some people trying to call attention to themselves, or, you see people out there getting defensive about, like, oh, just about certain things. Like, like nobody's really in each other's space as long as you're being yourself and doing, your videos. We're all different. And that's the beauty of doing these things. Wookiees Lives Matter says, I showed this channel to a female friend of mine, and she said Trinity was fine as hell too. Thank you. Again, I already told you guys I don't know how to take a compliment. I just look at it as, people say that, and hey, thank you. I kind of always been told that, you're a good looking guy, but to me, like, I think a lot of people are good looking. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those people out there when it comes to looks. I like not normal looks as well, you know what I mean? Like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and me, like, sometimes I like odd, not traditional features on people, you know what I mean? So yeah, you can take that for what it is. But thank you, Wookie. Aggressively relaxing says, "Are you looking forward to Watchmen? It looks awful in my opinion. Taking away the ambiguous ending makes it a gross story about trash people instead of something thoughtful. I'm not really big on Watchmen, and I believe that's going to be like a streaming show. I don't really watch a whole lot of streaming shows. I'm just not into them. Of course, I'm going to have to bite the bullet on that one once Disney Plus comes out for the Falcon and Winter Soldier and the Hawkeye and all those shows on there. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and watch some TV shows. Again, like me, like I just want, I like films. I'm more of a film person. I watch TV shows. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld. South Park. How could you not love South Park? Some different shows out there, but for the most part, I just don't do like a whole lot of streaming shows because you guys know as well as I do, it can take up a lot of time doing those things. Russell Wills Benjamin says, "Mary, you're pretty fine yourself. I'd let you cause some mayhem in my life." Yeah, yeah, and Mary's a very beautiful, but very beautiful young lady as well. And I do mean that you are, and I've certainly heard plenty of people echoing that same sentiment. Um, I am misguided. RK was one of the only people that remembered the lost dreadnought slave fleet when the episode 9 teaser dropped. Ah, I see. Okay, yeah. And see, that's you're talking. You're speaking German to me there. I don't know. I don't know what all that means, but certainly there's Ryan is one of those people that would notice that. Ryan says, "I'm down to come on whenever, my man." Yeah, certainly. Again, a lot of it's just, and we're on the same time zone. That's one thing that makes it a bit easier. Most everybody else I know is in different time zones, but we can do that one of these days, maybe on the weekend, if anything. Um, Ryan says, "I'm glad you noticed." Yeah, certainly, man. And that's one of the things sometimes that helps people stick out. Mary Mayhem says, "Heck yeah, second. Let me know if you ever want to stream together. You cool as heck." Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, we do need to get together sometime and do some live streams. Again, there's other people out there. I just want to do some live streams, but a lot of times it's really more just like a matter of timing. Seems like most of the people I know and follow are over on the East Coast, and maybe that's because they're waking up, for what me is at the butt crack of dawn, and that's like already through their mid morning, so they kind of got to jump on things. You know what I mean? So there's some of the first videos I see coming up on YouTube, and some of the first people to they're getting things done earlier because night comes for them earlier than it does for us over here on the West Coast. Tommy, welcome to the live stream. He says, "Ye be doing just fine, lad." Oh, that's how I took it. I just seen ye. Ye be doing just fine, laddie. Thank you. Kobe reviews movies says, "As long as you have the passion, it doesn't matter if you don't have the energy." And exactly. I agree with that. And you can see a lot of that in there. Like me, like I said, the Wookie Lives Matters is probably out there laughing like, "Hey, look, I'm actually sitting down today. I've got a seat. I'm sitting down, Wookie." Something that very rarely happens. I am Misguided says, "Ryan Kendall, it was the first thing I thought when people said, where did all those destroyers come from? Well, there is the Lost Fleet of over 1,000 ships, but with no EU, they shouldn't exist." Right. Okay. Ryan says, I thought they were craving that creative freedom. Why are you, why are they always recycling EU ideas? Right. Yeah. See, and you guys know about the EU, and you would know that stuff. To me, somebody who's more of a normie to the Star Wars universe, I mean, I've been down since the beginning, but like I don't know the EU, so I mean, I would say that still makes me pretty much a normie when it comes to Star Wars, and I'm okay with that. Hey, I know my spot, man. Mary says, "Oh, stop." Fatal J says, "You can shout out everyone except me, Billy Jane." Who are you? Who's Fatal J? I'm just kidding, man. Yeah, Fatal, I actually got partway through. I was actually checking out your live stream yesterday. Wasn't that yesterday? Yeah, when you you had quite the panel yesterday, man. You had Ryan, Demogeny, and even Lord Callus, man. That was pretty sweet. But yeah, Fatal's certainly a cool dude. Everybody knows Fatal, man. If you don't know who Fatal J is, you gotta go check out his channel, man. He's a funny dude. Always flapping his gums about something, just like me. You funny, Fatal. And I wonder, did anybody post that video on Twitter? The one that I did that I sent you guys? If not, I'll go ahead and post that later because that was funny. Or maybe I could do a better cut of that here on my computer because I thought that was funny. Uh, and it had me laughing when that happened on some black guys in a drunk on Tuesday. Russell Wells Benjamin says, "I thought you said slave fleet and almost spit up my coffee." I probably did. Is that what he said? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Fatal says, Mary, my dear. Yeah, Fatal J, welcome to the live stream. And see, and then you can see he's typing in capitals too. That's how Fatal is. Like he's loud, man. He's loud. That's how Fatal is. You can see he's even typing in all caps. That's just Fatal, man. That's Fatal. I'm this guy says I think they wanted to steal from the EU and claim it as their own. It allows them to pick up and choose without honoring the lore. And yeah, and like I said again, for like people who are into the EU and know their stuff, that's why I say my hats off to these people who want to go out there and making these films is because you got a lot of expectation to live up to, and people are gonna know, and they're gonna call you out on it. You know what I mean? And you guys obviously know, and you guys care. You guys are invested in that sort of way. So people who are like that, like I said, when people have differing opinions and things like that, hey, people out there know a lot more about it than I do, and my hat's off to you, to people who actually know their stuff and are actually upset over legitimate reasons, instead of we see plenty of people out there who are just upset to be upset. There's plenty of those people out there. We all know who they are. We all know them when we see them. But certainly, like people like you guys know the EU and stuff like that. And when they're doing that, when they're taken from the EU and not honoring the lore, and that's hats off to you guys for knowing that. Because again, like I'm more of a normie when it comes to that kinds of stuff. Fatal says, Mary says, Fatal, could anyone be cooler than you? I don't think anybody could be. I mean, there certainly is Drunk 3PO. And that's one cool dude right there. You know what I mean? Even I seen some in this video. Somebody made this video, and like Drunk 3PO kind of got on him and just kind of like, are they throwing shade at me? And like the way he responded, I'm like, that was smooth, man. That was smooth. So Drunk cool too, man. I am this guy says cool has entered the chat. He says yeah. Fatal says yeah. Mary, your name is cool. Ryan says Fatal. I can talk in all caps too. What's up, my brother? She says Ryan being a dick over here. Fatal says Ryan, it's the law to type Fatal J in all caps. Thanks for being a good citizen. I'm gonna do it in lower. Oh, he did it in lower caps that time. No, what time was the broadside? Okay. Mary says I'm gonna type in all caps too in solidarity. Oh, you guys are cracking me up this morning. I still got to be at it since I still talk since I still be talked like a pirate today. Yar. Oh yes. Oh yes. I need to learn some of that lingo too. Maybe not pirate talk, but because we go to Renaissance Fair every year and we dress up and all that stuff. I'm telling you, I've got my own gear. Got my own gear for Renaissance Fair. I need to learn some of the lingo. Oh man, you guys are cracking me up today. But it's already 9:00, folks. I gotta go. It's gonna be a busy day for me. I gotta get out and get down to Pacoima and pick up my freight and get that all worked today. Something that was supposed to happen yesterday. I prepared for it all on Tuesday, and then my freight ended up being delayed by a day. So yeah, I've got a long day ahead of me. Probably gonna end up putting my kids to work when they get out of school as well. Not gonna be breaking any child labor laws. I swear. They get breaks and lunches, and we spoil them to death. But they're always happy to help out as well. But that's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all for tuning into the morning movie chat, where we kind of went a little more off the rails today with not talking just about movies. We were all having a little bit of fun here at the very end, and that's always a good time as well. Thank you all so much for showing up. Now, if you're not already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications and all of that good stuff. Because as soon as I hit 500 subscribers here on the channel, I'm gonna be giving away a copy of Alita Battle Angel and John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. So to get entered into that, you got to be subscribed, and you got to leave a comment in this video or any of the videos until I hit 500 subscribers. And no, those aren't just shameless attempts to get people to subscribe to the channel and all of that stuff for you to, I just do that for my viewers because I have these digital copies here and just gonna get rid of them, you know what I mean? And want to give them away to you guys for being here and interacting. So again, thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel today. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and all of that good stuff. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you all so much for being here. Later. Again, thank you all